They called it an election, but Omoyele Sowore just called it a crime scene. While you were sleeping, the Abuja Siege wasn't just about soldiers on the streets, it was about the systematic theft of your mandate. Mutilated results appearing on iRev, BVAS machines failing at the exact moment of collation, and 4 p.m. leads turning into 7 p.m. nightmares. We were told the 2026 Electoral Act would save us, but instead it gave state actors a manual backdoor to manipulate the truth. From the minister's office to the INEC headquarters, the trail of bribery and intimidation leads straight to the top. Sowore has released the receipts on how the FCT was compromised, and today we are showing you exactly how they did it. The betrayal is deep, but the evidence is deeper. Don't look away. Let's get into the facts.
To truly grasp the depth of this betrayal, we have to look at the atmosphere of fear that defined the day. Across the Federal Capital Territory, residents did not wake up to a celebration of democracy, they woke up to a city under lockdown. This was not merely security, it was a psychological operation. In Gwagwalada, Amak, and Buari, the heavy presence of soldiers near polling units created a climate of intimidation. Sowore pointed out that while security is standard, the deployment on February 21st was surgical. In areas known for strong opposition leanings, the Abuja Siege served one purpose: to keep the ordinary Nigerian at home while the state machinery took over the streets. The most damning evidence, however, lies in the timeline. Between 4 p.m. and 7 p.m., a mysterious technical glitch struck the INEC servers. This 3-hour window was what Sowore calls the golden hour for manipulators. Field reports at 4 p.m. showed opposition candidates with commanding leads, but as the BVAS machines suddenly failed to upload Form EC8A, the shadows moved in. Behind closed doors at collation centers, original results were reportedly swapped. By the time the lights came back on at 7 p.m., the numbers no longer matched the reality of the ballots cast. We cannot talk about this manipulation without talking about the landlord of Abuja, Nyesom Wike. Sowore has been vocal about the role of the FCT ministry in this exercise. He alleges that the state actors involved weren't just low-level officials, but high-ranking figures who viewed the FCT as a must-win at any cost. Reports surfaced of emergency meetings held just days before the vote, where local administrators were reportedly given marching orders. The goal was simple: ensure the capital remains under total control, effectively silencing the most politically conscious population in the country. The failure of INEC was not just a lack of competence, it was a lack of will. While the commission spent billions on integrity upgrades for 2026, the same old ghosts returned. Sowore highlighted instances of financial inducement where electoral officers were seen in compromised positions. In several polling units, the bribery wasn't even hidden, it was conducted in broad daylight. When the BVAS failed to transmit, INEC officials insisted on manual collation, the very loophole the Electoral Act was supposed to close. This was not a glitch, it was a choice. Beyond the polling units, the real damage was done at the collation centers. Sowore's intelligence suggests that local observers and even some party agents were physically barred from key centers in the final hours. In some districts, phone signals were reportedly jammed to prevent the live streaming of the counting process. This was a coordinated effort between the security apparatus and the electoral body. It was a betrayal of the highest order, where the very people paid to protect the vote became the architects of its destruction. What makes this even more disturbing is the silence of the institutional watchers. While domestic observers were sounding the alarm on the Abuja Siege, the official narrative from the state was one of peace and order. But as Sowore rightly asks, what is peace without justice? What is order when the foundations of your choice have been systematically eroded? The 2026 Abuja election was meant to be a litmus test for the general elections, a sign that Nigeria had moved past the era of moonlight results. Instead, it showed that the tactics have simply become more sophisticated. The implications of this are far-reaching. If the capital of the nation can be sieged and its results manipulated in the light of day, no vote in Nigeria is safe. The 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. window will go down in history as the time when the will of the people was traded for political survival. Sowore's exposure is not just a political critique, it is a forensic audit of a dying system. He has laid out the receipts, named the actors, and exposed the playbook. As we look toward the future, we must ask ourselves, can we continue to trust a commission that glitches only when the people are winning? Can we trust a security force that secures the perimeter for the rigger instead of the voter? The betrayal is documented. The evidence is deeper than any headline. The only question left is, will Nigerians accept this as the new normal, or will this be the spark that finally demands a total overhaul of our electoral journey? The eyes of the world are watching, but more importantly, the eyes of the Nigerian youth are watching. This isn't just about one election in Abuja, it's about the soul of the country. If the state actors think they have won, they have failed to realize one thing: you can't kill an idea whose time has come. The truth is out, and the fight for the mandate has just begun.